Hi, I'm Andrew Orange of Orange Lighting. Thank you for watching. This week we want to commence a series of videos that tackles the current technology driving the lighting control systems in residential and commercial projects. However, to start the process, we seek to identify the opportunities that exist for interior designers and architects when offering lighting controls to their customers. Now, I know that many of you remain reluctant to promote sophisticated controls because of their complexity. And many I meet voice their concerns due to the lack of standardisation and with installation. Yet, with predictions that the lighting controls market will be valued at £33 billion by 2020, are we ignoring a major source of revenue? Well, certainly, with many more clients asking for scene-changing systems and increasingly interest is not only confined to the higher tier of budget, demand is definitely across the board. And ultimately, if your competitors are offering it, isn't it time for you to jump on board and future-proof your menu of services? Well, we spoke to a number of interior designers, but our conversation with Emma Hooton of Emma Hooton Limited was very representative. I'm asking Emma an important question. How do you regard lighting systems these days?
I see them as an intrinsic part of the interior design. So right from the very beginning of the project, we'll be looking at plans, doing furniture layouts, and the next thing we do will be a lighting plan and design that will work. Every aspect is thought about on paper right at the beginning of the project. So it's a really important part of our design.
Are there any issues you find that you or your clients bring up when they're discussing and thinking about lighting control?
We normally have a discussion whereby they want a really sophisticated system and they want it to have great impact on their interiors. They also want to work with an interface that is simple to use. So there's this constant battle at the beginning of the project to find a way to get both of those things together.
Have you noticed any changes from what clients are demanding or asking for?
Many of our clients are travelling around the world, staying in top hotels. When they see what's possible in these perhaps more commercial spaces, some of them, it inspires them to be more adventurous and go for really layered lighting in their interior design and incorporate that. So they're really definitely more adventurous and looking for us to guide them in that.
But yet they're trying to find something which is simple enough to use at home.
That's right. So they want all the the high tech. They want the cutting edge technology, but they want an interface that is intuitive and simple to use. Not just for them, but for also their guests, people who are coming in cleaning. They want something that everybody can just look at and immediately use, and not have to have a demonstration done for them or have some sort of manual to refer to.
How important do you find the actual switch is?
Very important, as is it's all about the detail. So every small aspect of the interior, right down to the door handles, hinges, metal finishes, are crucial. We want them all to come together. So very often when we're researching switch plates for more sophisticated lighting control systems, we find that the finishes can be limited or the look can be really contemporary. So you end up with a very sort of space age looking interface on a wall of perhaps a more classic interior, and it just doesn't always sit that well with the interior. It's necessary and the clients want it, but it doesn't always flow with everything else around it, and perhaps the metal finish on it might not work with the door handle that we've chosen, and those two things are right next to each other, so it's really important.
So clearly there's a need and a hunger for more information on controls, so we asked a controls expert for the inside story. Wandsworth have been manufacturing in the UK for well over 100 years, making switch plates, but in recent times they've developed their own brand of sophisticated controls to go behind those plates. And with a recent project such as the BBC Wood Lane Studios conversion, they're in a great place to comment. So I've got Rob from Wandsworth with me. I'm asking him the question, is it safe to enter the tricky waters of lighting controls these days, and is it complicated?
So yes, lighting controls can be complicated on the face of things. As long as you're guided by the professionals, however, it can be much, much easier. As a prime example, traditional lighting wiring is a lot more complicated than some of the network-based systems. So as long as you get that done before first fix, it's simpler, cheaper and quicker to install than normal wiring.
So Wandsworth is heading in that direction then, having a plate which is traditionally made, but yeah, they've got a sophisticated system behind it.
Absolutely. We work all the way from a sophisticated networked system with scene setting plates, all the way down through our attractive switches, mixing the intelligence with beauty, all the way down to traditional rotaries.
Intelligence with beauty, that's a great phrase. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Very much so. It's a traditional Wandsworth thing that the plates are made to a very high standard and aesthetically they're pleasing. We designed a lighting control system that would work with any of our plates. So you decide how you want things to look, you decide how you want things to work, and we do the dirty work behind the scenes making them work together.
So Rob, do you have any advice for the cautious designer when they're choosing a control system?
I think people have had their fingers burnt with LEDs recently in the same way as they have with fluorescents in the past. So choose a company that's going to support you through the entire project, and choose a company that will test your light source with the driver, with their dimming system, to make sure everything is compatible.
So a control system, Rob, doesn't have to be a large rack taking up a lot of space. It could actually be broken down into a much smaller format.
Absolutely. It's one of the first design principles of the system we have. It's distributed intelligence. So for want of a better term, it's a Lego kit. You buy purely and simply the modules you need, which are small enough to be placed in any convenient location rather than taking up a whole rack.
So it's obvious that lighting controls are most definitely on the agenda, and more than at any other time in the past. So let's embark on a journey to acquaint ourselves with the necessary knowledge needed to appraise the opportunities available to us in this new world of lighting controls.